on, guys? Welcome back and namaste to you. It's as always Cam here, and I'm so happy to be with you. Today, the topic of conversation is manifesting. Manifestation. What is it? Is it real? Is it something you can actually do? And is it a magical power? Is it supernatural? Is it something outside of ourselves? Is it something we need to believe in for it to work? All those questions we're going to answer here today, right? Okay, so manifestation, what is it? It's only creating. That's all we're doing. We're creating. Where are we creating? Well, you manifest in different ways. A lot of what people think of when they think of manifesting, visualization, right? When you are visualizing, you are creating a picture in your mind, usually during a meditation, of exactly the idea that you want to see manifest in your reality when you open your eyes back or when you finish the meditation. Here's the problem. You saw the big deep sigh I took there? Because it's, here we have a problem to fix. So here it is. Usually, when we start to learn about manifestation, we hear about it, we get turned off by it because it's a little supernatural. We're talking different realms and stuff, right? It gets weird. So we feel the resistance, but if you really look, the resistance only comes because it forces you to think another way than you've always thought. So once you get past that and you start looking for things like this video where you're trying to learn more about it and how to use it, right? Then you get lost because people tell you, okay, to manifest, you have to think it, you have to hold it there. There's certain people that say if you can hold it for 36 hours, then it's guaranteed to come. There's a lot of things, right? Holding a visual image in your mind, fantastic. That's where the movie The Secret comes in. That's why it gained all this popularity. Then people came out immediately trying to debunk it, saying, well, that doesn't work because if it worked, and the biggest thing is, well, I could close my eyes, visualize a Porsche and a mansion, and then by all the accounts of The Secret and manifestation, those things should be there when I open my eyes, right? Which comes back to the question of, does it work? Well, I want to resort back to the same way that modern Christians or Catholics or anybody who observes Jesus or any Muslim who observes Allah, a lot of times when we are going to the deity that we're speaking to, or if we're meditating and, with consideration to Buddha's life, we're thinking of that figure and we're going, if you help me from beyond, if you help me, if you create a situation that I cannot create, then I will be happy, then I will be fulfilled, then my life will feel like it has purpose and meaning, and I will become enlightened, and then I will be happy, and then I will be able to give. Well, every spiritual teaching we've ever learned or that we've ever heard, well, we know that that's not the way it works. You have to give before you can receive. So when you're manifesting, what do you have to give? I lived by a phrase for a long time. I lived by a lot of phrases that I didn't know were working against me. One, and the worst of phrases that I think we all do a lot, prepare for the worst and pray for the best. That mantra, and that's what it is. Prepare for the worst and pray for the best, and it is what it is, was my life mantra to just go, I'm not happy. That's all I was really trying to say is I'm doing things and life is feeding back to me unhappiness. Well, it is what it is, and I always prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Well, praying for the best didn't get me anywhere because going to a source that I don't know, that I have no connection to, because I can't picture that, I can't imagine it, I don't know, I'm not there. But then I start to go inwards and realize that when I go inwards and when I think with no judgments of the life that I would prefer for myself, and I put a plan together of how I'm going to at least start to, put that life in motion, well then not only similar things start to happen, but the exact same things start to manifest themselves. And where do they manifest from? Well, That's where modern science is getting into things like quantum biology and quantum physics and stuff like that. Science is starting to catch up with almost the human consciousness and going, look, there is this dark matter that is always in effect. And it's not just high up in the cosmos, but it's way down below the ocean. And, we know more about the sky than we do the ocean. And there's so much at play. All we have to do, and this is where the big one comes, the big question, does manifestation work? And is there a way that I can make it work better? Yes. Yes. I am not one that necessarily believes that you have to physically write your goals down. To me, that doesn't, whatever. It's the same process of a dream board. By writing it down and looking at it every day, and by looking at a dream board every day, you're just keeping it in your mind, right? If it's supposed to be for you, I believe it lives right here, which just means that's where you need to go. Go inward, spend time here. You'll hear a lot of famous, successful entrepreneurs and spiritual teachers. They'll talk about experiences where they manifested parking spots as a big one, or they manifested the car they drove, or the exact house that they live in today. They do these things because after doing it once, it feels like a magic trick, so you continue to do it. And then once you do it so many times and it just keeps working without fail, it becomes a belief. And then you can't be proven wrong. The same way that people believe that God is working in their lives, it's the same way that people who go internal and they speak to their source and they figure out exactly who they are, and they start acting on that, they change their reality from the sad, unhappy person that they were before. Some people would like to equate the law of attraction manifesting to like the placebo effect, right? And I hate that I do the bunny ears. The placebo effect, to where if you believe that something is happening, then it must be happening. We see it all the time in medical science and people being cured from diseases. They believe they were better, so they got better, right? Well, same thing with manifesting. What stops manifesting from working is you go, well, when I open my eyes, if there's not a mansion and a Ferrari here, then this doesn't work. Open your eyes and you're in the same house that you were in before you closed your eyes, and you go, I knew this supernatural magic stuff doesn't work. Here's what happened. You wanted to teleport. You wanted to take a Ferrari in a mansion that actually exists somewhere, and you wanted to suck that into a wormhole and bring that into your existence and move your physical house out of the way, which would shift your neighborhood and move all your belongings and all these things, and it would just throw absolute chaos into the world, not knowing what that would do to solar activity or weather, but you don't care. You don't care how that would affect the birds and the nature and the landscapes of the city. You don't care. If it ripped it right out of the ground and boom, you were there. As long as it happened for you, you're fine. Boom, I manifested it. Where are we coming from? We're coming from a place of selfishness. We're coming from a place of need. We're coming from a place of desire. Where when we go internal and we see these pictures in our mind of the lives we know we should be living and the things we know we could experience in our lives and the dollar amounts that for whatever reason we make up that we think are going to make us happy, or the cars and the houses and the stuff, well, okay. I'm not taking any disrespect away from those things. I respect them because they are experiences in this life that we all admit we love. So let's not be mad at them anymore. Let's right now release the negative hold that we have, that if I was to bring in a lot of money, that would be a bad thing because then people would judge me and people would think I was this, and let's release all that. Do we want larger sums of money in our life? Most of us do. Do we want to do what we love for a living and be appreciated for that? Most of us do. Do all of us choose to take to YouTube and share what they feel is their life calling? No. Some people are nurses and firefighters and whatever they do in their lives, and one is not more spiritually fulfilling than the other. It's up to each individual to understand what their definition of success is. Some people think that they have to live in a big mansion in Malibu, driving 9 cars, doing whatever, then that's considered success. But blessings to in Matthew McConaughey's book Green Lights, he talks about knowing what you really want, and he's talking about when he finally got a maid to clean up his house and take care of his stuff after he booked one of his biggest roles, she would put a big crease in the front of his jeans. It looks very proper, looks very nice. He was like, wow, look, and he's telling his friends, I have this crease in my jeans. I've never had creases in my jeans before. This is crazy. And the friend goes, well, that's great, but do you like having creases in your jeans? And he was like, well, no, I don't. And a lot of us, Sadhguru says this best, had we been given everything we'd ever wanted in our lives up to this point, if you were never denied anything by the universe and you were given everything every time you asked, your life would be in shambles. There would be people everywhere. There would be sums of money that would have come and been blown. You would be addicted to everything in the world, possibly cars and everything. You would have topped out on life. It would have become so unmanageable for you to receive everything. You would have had to have literally given your life away to manage it all. So the universe knows that you can't handle that, right? So once you get in sync with who you truly are, what really makes you hum as a spiritual being that's acting as a human experience, you connect to that and you go, well, I am, and you start to explore those things. Some people, I am music. Some people, I am art. Some people, I am content creation. Now, again, those things are what you do. They are not who you are, but you find expression of who you are through those things. When you start to express who you truly are through the human experience of activity, and that's in sync with who you really are and with what the universe or your creator, whatever you call that, sent you here to do, you know when you're in line with that. And you know when you're deeply out of balance with that because you feel it. You wake up in the morning and you feel the need to check your phone for reassurance. And you roll over and you start talking to whoever's next to you. Oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And you start searching in all these ways for happiness and reassurance. But the night prior when you did your yoga routine and then you meditated and you read the book you wanted to read, then you took a little bit for yourself and then you got in a hot shower and then you went to bed, you woke up the next morning feeling more in tune with yourself because you controlled the way your night ended and you felt more in control of the way that your day started. It was just that you never stopped being one person to become another. You just went with the change of time and left these old ways back here and created a new reality. The supernatural part happens in the dark matter and the quantum and the thing that we don't know, so therefore it's the thing we need not focus on. We can only look at cause and effect. That's all we do as human beings. Cause, if I do this, it's going to cause an effect. So, if I feel in my heart and in my soul of a being that it is in my destiny of life to be on stages telling my stories and my life experiences to try to help a world that feels like they need it, that it's coming to an event or a conference to hear how they can come to this peace, that's what I feel like I'm here to do. And until then, I'm putting it out on YouTube and I'm just giving it to people as ways to contemplate the life that they are so searching to find. I want people to find themselves. Once you find yourself, you break this resistance of I can't do that because that's not what people like me do. I can't do that because if I get it, then people will think I'm this, that, or the other. And I can't do that because, well, that's going to get you nowhere quickly. I think if you're here, then you've probably already found that, which is why you're realizing that you have created the reality you're living today. To move forward from it and to get rid of that resistance, one of the biggest things is, to wrap back around to the beginning, it's losing even the desire for. It's the losing the desire for the bigger house, the more money. It's losing the desire for the admiration. It's really understanding that in every experience we do, we're trying to fill a void. Whether it's fill a communal void and we're trying to put a service or a message out to help and make the community better, or we're trying to fill a void within ourselves and go, hey, I want to put this video out and I hope it gets a lot of likes and a lot of follows and subscribers, and then I'll feel justified in my efforts in making the video. Well, there's two different expectations there. Either you put the video out and you're happy if it's seen by one person that it helps, or you're depressed the next day when it's only seen by one person. That is the actual vibration that you live in. So when you live in a certain vibrational frequency of life, of being, you will then attach to the things of that similar frequency. So if you're envious of other people for getting more views, or for their clothing brand making more sales, or their podcast getting more downloads or whatever, well, then you're going to sync up with frequencies and other people that are in that similar realm, and that's why you usually find each other in comment sections and chat groups and stuff like that, where if you ignore all that and you operate in the frequency of the people you look up to that are doing the things you do, and you solely lock into improving and taking what you like from your motivators and making it your own, well, then you just keep getting better and better and better and better and better and better, and you're only focused on creating that better reality for yourself. And then one day, we all call it deja vu. We go, wow, I've been here before. Well, yeah. You either were there in a dream, you were there in your head one time, you were there because you created it. But then you believed without any resistance. You let everything your upbringing told you, that every statistic told you, you'd let all that go, and you just said, if that is true, great. If it is, it doesn't have nothing to do with me. I know who I am and I know what I want to do. I am creating that future for myself. And then you go and you do everything in accordance to that plan, and you really try to trim the fat off of your life of the things that don't serve that. You will find that the universe, your deity, whatever you call it, will just start to serve you like, I'm talking a waiter at an endless buffet, baby. It's service all day long. But you have to get to a place, and this is the hardest, where you don't need that change in your life to be happy. You don't need to see large sums of money to feel fulfilled. You don't need the validation from people on social media or in your life to be truly happy. But you are happy first, you do what you love, and then the happiness spreads out, and then it comes all the way back in massive floods that you just cannot even imagine. So yes, it's real. Yes, it can be used. Yes, it can be used for good and bad, because we all know that if we have a bad day starting out and we keep going with the, well, I'm going to expect the worst and pray for the best kind of thing, you're opening yourselves up to what can go wrong will go wrong almost every single time. So I want to thank you guys so much. I'm going to take a break here and grab a quick drink of coffee. It is fall season, so pumpkin spice is in full effect. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, checking out yet again another video. I hope you guys are liking these ones, and let me know in the comment section any questions you have. If you're new here, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe. If you've been here a while, type something in the comment. Let the people know why they should subscribe and thumbs up. I appreciate everything. Good luck during this time. Please be safe during the election, and know that I love you very much. Namaste.